Good morning, everybody. This is quite a unique experience for me. This is the Comic Hall on 9 a.m. on a Good Friday. I'm off of work today. My work is kind enough to close, so everybody has a nice 3-day Easter weekend. I had a 4-day Easter weekend because I had to take care of my son and daughter during their spring break. And of course, I'm sick as a dog, so it's great. But it is Good Friday, and I figured, you know what? I'll do this show now, and then in 12 hours, I will do my other show, Dylan Knows. We'll be talking some more comic book stuff. So if you're interested in this stuff, you might want to check it out again in 12 hours. I also get a little bit more blue, as it were, with language and stuff like that. So on that note, I had one viewer, and then goodbye. So on that note, this is the Comic Hall. What is the Comic Hall? Well, I just basically every week I show you all the comics that I pick up this week, and take a look at them and see if you want to go buy them. Now, Easter weekend is a good weekend. I actually saw 2 stores in my area, that are actually having really good Easter sales. My particular store, I follow mostly my store's sales because it's my store and it's right down the street from me. They are doing a 3-day weekend sale, Easter weekend sale, 60% off of back issues. Modern day, I guess you would say, back issues. 50% off basically everything else, action figures, mugs, trades, posters, gaming stuff like that. 40% off, I think, Golden Age and Silver Age back issues, and 20% off of recent comics and trades and stuff, including ones that came out this week as well, which in retrospect, I probably should have waited till today to buy my comics. I could have gotten 20% off, but you know what? I want to get the comics before they sell out because, comic book fans are notorious for, grabbing stuff. And a couple weeks ago, all the Titans annual #1 issues they had were gone, and I had to go get it someplace else. So I figure the best thing to do is just get it now, and then today or tomorrow I can decide to go pick up some trades or Funko Pops or whatever if I feel like. So I might end up doing that. We'll see. And then Sunday, things get ratcheted up. 60% off. This is because they want you coming on Easter Sunday. 60% off of trades and 70% off of back issues. So you can't beat it. So if you're in the Reisterstown area, check out Cards, Comics, and Collectibles this whole weekend. Starting today, they've got big sales going on. But there are other sales going on at other stores. So go to your local comic shop and see if they have any Easter sales going on. They may or may not. It depends. If you don't know where your comic shop is, go to your search engine, type in CSLS, the Comic Shop Locator Service. Type in your zip code. It'll tell you where to go. The only thing I'm doing this week, me and my son are going down to the Gem Museum in Baltimore City, where Steve Geppi, who owns Diamond Comics, has a huge collection of comic books. So we're going to see that as well. So it's going to be like a comic book filled day. The Comic Hall, we're looking at comic books and other stuff, pop culture stuff, down at the Gem Museum. And then tonight, 9 p.m., Dylan Knows, we'll be talking some comic stuff, but some other stuff as well, particularly about lyrics of Madonna videos and songs and some other stuff. But we're not here to talk about that right now. We're here to talk about the Comic Hall. This is what I got this week. As always, start off with DC. And as always, there's something I need to share. I think I mentioned this a while back. One of the things that made the Rebirth books so good is that the majority of them, all of them, were $2.99. Well, as of this month, that has changed. The ones that are twice monthly stay $2.99, but ones that come out once a month have up to $3.99. I'll show you some examples in today's stuff. So this might be the end for a lot of books. I know I keep mentioning this. I've been mentioning this for almost a year now, that I'm not going to keep collecting all these because I need to save money, particularly if my pop culture coffee idea comes to fruition. But that's for a story tonight at 9 o'clock, Dylan Knows. Comics. And this one is one I was dropping, but then when the whole Superman Reborn thing happened, I had to pick it up again. It's Action Comics number 977, $2.99, came out this week. The reason why is because after Superman Reborn, this is continuing the aftermath of that. So it's written by Dan Jurgens, who I love. I love Dan Jurgens, but just Action just isn't doing it for me as much as Superman is. And we got artwork by Ian Churchill. but we're getting Superman's identity is getting back to normal. We're finally figuring out what's going on with him, and we get a little bit of a Kryptonian history lesson today in this issue. So that in itself is a pretty interesting idea. So check that out. So I may have to stick with this for a little while longer, but I probably will be dropping it really soon. Hal Jordan the Green Lantern Corps is $2.99 also because it comes out twice a month. Newest issue is written by Robert Venditti with artwork by, I like the artwork, by V. Ken Marion, inkers Dexter Vines. And the Green Lantern Corps and the Sinestro Corps have teamed up now to continue policing everything. So they are, of course, with all types of stuff like that, there's going to be issues to be had with the different ideologies. And then we get a little bit more of the Blue Lantern in there as well. So Robert Venditti's still doing a pretty good job of this. Hal Jordan the Green Lantern Corps number 18 is out this week. Another $2.99 one because it's twice monthly is Flash number 20. This ends, well, this is actually a standalone issue. The next issue leads into the crossover with Batman, which is going to detail a little bit more about the rebirth mystery with the Watchmen. But till that point, we've got Joshua Williamson and Neil Googe doing this one-shot story before setting up for the next big one. Again, a lot of the rebirth books are starting to focus more on their TV and movie type of backgrounds. So this is a little bit more oriented towards the TV show, though. Not that it still has a difference in it that you don't need to worry about. That it's just a direct adaptation of the TV show. This one's also $2.99. Wonder Woman number 20. This made some news today. Well, not this issue, but the story. Greg Rucka did the artwork, and Bill Quist-Evely is the artist. This is the present day story. Rucka's been flip-flopping from a year one storylines to present day, so this is the present day storyline. What's going on with this is after issue 25, Greg Rucka is leaving Wonder Woman, which is a shame because I've thoroughly enjoyed his books, his series anyway, and we'll see what happens. So unless they get a really good creative team on here, it's a possibility that I might be dropping Wonder Woman as well, but we'll see. I never thought I'd say that, but I probably would stick through. What they're saying is 6 issues after Rucka leaves, one of the writers of the DC Superhero Girl series my daughter loves is going to be taking over. So it might be interesting to check that out. So I might stick around for a little while longer. Also $2.99, Detective Comics number 954, featuring a showdown between Batman and Ra's al Ghul, James Tynion IV, art by Marcio Takara. So basically just get a battle between Batman and Ra's al Ghul in here. So very interesting. Next up we have Justice League America, which is also twice monthly, is also still $2.99. So still a good amount of $2.99s. But let's see if we can get a better view of the cover, maybe on this side. This one, we finally get Ivan Reyes back on art, which he did the first issue and then is doing the 4th issue, so it's been a while. Steve Orlando writer, Ivan Reyes penciler, Scott Hanna and Joe Prado inkers. And then I think I read that Reyes isn't coming back again for probably another 3 issues. So I guess a few Reyes books here and there is good. But this one, again, as I said, trying to hem a bit closer to the TV shows. This has Killer Frost and the Atom, who are part of, along with Batman and Black Canary. Black Canary and Killer Frost and Atom, and even Vixen are all part of the Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow and stuff like that. But then we get an appearance by Ray and Lobo, and so still some different interesting things as well. So Justice League America number 4. Right, number 4? Yep, number 4. Sorry, my chest hurts from coughing and the lungs and stuff like that. Now, this one I was going to drop, particularly now that this is the first of the 399 issues, but I figured we had money in our account, may as well keep buying it. I got our tax return, so I figured, yeah, why not? This is the first of the 399s, Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. I will probably be dropping this one soon. No offense to Jodie Benson and Shauna Benson, or Julie Benson and Shauna Benson. Just I need to cut down somewhere, and this is one of the places. Roge Antonio is doing the artwork and basically focuses on Black Canary, with the very few appearances by Huntress and Batgirl. So, in particular, there's probably a reason for it. So, but I'll probably end up dropping this soon. Oh, here they are. So we'll see. 9-1 is Supergirl. This is Supergirl's first meeting with meeting because they've known each other, but where she teams up with Superman, who is her cousin. Again, there's a CW show, but this series is really, really good. It's written by Steve Orlando, art by Mateus Bagara, and it's basically cousins spending the day together. So it's kind of a nice little one-shot, you know, together, and then you have them going out for lunch and hanging out and having fun and doing stuff like that, and you know, meeting the family, because you know she is family. I mean, basically she's Cal's cousin, so is Lois's cousin-in-law, and John's second cousin, I guess, is the way that works out. So, and also kind of retelling of what's been happening in Superman Reborn. So a good little like jump on point, and then tying up what happened in the annual. Batgirl will be appearing in the next storyline, so I'm not giving this up anytime soon. So Supergirl will be on my list for a while. That was number 8, so check that out. Might be a good spot to pick up that issue, particularly if your store's doing like a 50% off a trade paperbacks. You can pick up the Supergirl Volume 1 trade. I think it's out by now. And, get yourself caught up, and you'll be in good shape. This would surprise me. Titans number 10 is $3.99. I thought they were more twice a month, but I'm still going to buy the Titans because they're having a huge. I like the artwork by Brett Booth. It's from by Dan Abnett, and they're also Wally West is back, and this has an appearance by the Fearsome Five. So it's always good to have the Fearsome Five take on the Titans. Inks by Norm Rapmud. I didn't want to drop him, but forget about him. But he's there. So just a good little battle between the Fearsome Five, and Bumblebee's in there as well. So good little series. So keep that up. That surprised me. It was $3.99. I can't quit this one. It keeps drawing me back. I always want to, but I can't. Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 9. I don't know why. I like the idea of the premise, and it just keeps me coming back. Scott Lobdell, Dexter Soy, creative team. Scott Lobdell, writer. Dexter Soy's the artist. And just a interesting series. So just to get this, the Dark Trinity with Artemis, Bizarro, and Red Hood, which are, you know, the opposites of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. So pretty interesting. So he's at $3.99 also now. Last week was Art Balthazar and Franco week. Well, they've got Superpowers number 6. This is the final issue of their miniseries. It's all ages fun, family stuff. You get everybody under the sun in there, super pets, all the main people you see, and big bad guys, and just lots of fun, and it's a little series. And it's always, you know, good for all ages. So totally check that out. Ooh, Katana book is coming out. My daughter loves the superhero gals, and she loves the books, and Katana's her favorite, and she's got a book coming out this summer. So I'll get the Batgirl one for her. I don't think she has that one yet. Easter is coming up, so we'll see. Ooh, excuse me again, I'm short of breath. Talked about this a couple weeks ago too. The Hanna-Barbera updates. Well, here's another one. Scooby Apocalypse number 12. Keith Giffen, James DeMatteis, who did the Justice League International and a good run of Justice League in the 80s. iconic, you could say, is teamed up with Dale Eaglesham and Jan Darasima and Tom Derenick. Actually, it's Tom Derenick, not Jan Darasima, to do the artwork. So it's Scooby-Doo updated for the present day, where instead of them taking on people who are dressed up as ghosts, they are taking on a full-fledged apocalypse filled with demons and creatures, and they have to try to save the day. So very interesting. That's it for DC. Whew, wow. I don't know, maybe I won't be able to get through my 2-hour show at 9 o'clock on tonight, Friday. Getting winded here. Oh, well. Whew. Next up is Marvel. I've got some interesting stuff coming up with Marvel, particularly the last book I'm talking about Marvel. I'll talk about in a second. But a bunch of number ones came out this week, and I'm dropping Marvels left and right, but these had a little bit of interest for me. This one's Weapon X number 1, Greg Pak, Greg Land, what's Leaston's full name? Jay Leaston. And so basically, I always have a soft spot for these Black Ops characters. So you've got Sabretooth, Domino, Old Man Logan, Thunderbird, Lady Deathstrike, and all these characters who go sort of like Marvel's own Suicide Squad. You got a good creative team with Pack and Land on it. So we'll have to check and see out. There's also a Generation X one that has similar features to it, which I may look into as well. Who's doing Generation X? Christina Strain and Emilcar Pina, Jubilee Band. Well, we'll see. So, Black Panther and the Crew number 1. I probably wasn't going to buy this, but it's an interesting idea. Misty Knight is the main character. And you got Luke Cage, Storm, Black Panther, and Manifold, which I guess is a character that you've been following along. And it's written by the writer who's writing book, Ta-Nehisi Coates, with pencils by Butch Guice and Scott Hanna. Butch Guice has always been one of my favorite artists as well. Haven't seen him do a lot of stuff recently. Well, now he's back. So, together, and it looks like they're taking on social issues. We'll see how long this goes, because we've been detailing all the social issue stuff that's been going on with Marvel and how they're blaming minorities and diversity into their low sales. So we'll see how long this book lasts, but it still looks pretty good. I think I might stick around with it for a little bit. So check it out. First issue just came out this week. It might be a good investment to look into. Next up is Spider-Man number 26. Spider-Man was the first comic I ever got interested in. My dad started my collection for me, so I was a straight fan for the longest time, and then it sort of trickled after the Clone Saga. I sort of lost it, and then it came back a little bit when J. Michael Straczynski wrote, and then after he left, I sort of lost that when they changed the whole thing with having Peter make a deal with Mephisto to not be married to Mary Jane, which was stupid, to bring Aunt May back to life. I haven't really been following. I've been following it periodically, and Dan Slott's written some good stuff from what I heard. I followed a little bit of the Clone Conspiracy and a little bit of the Superior Spider-Man story, but to me, Spider-Man's been off and on lately, particularly with the new series after Secret Wars. I haven't really been following that much, but I'm sticking with it for a while now because we've got a new team. Dan Slott's still writing it, but Stuart Immerman and Wade Van Grauber. And I like the fact that Peter's interested in Mockingbird as a relationship. So that'd be fun to explore. However, the one big thing coming up that's going to make me stop probably buying stuff is Secret Empire, which I really have no desire to read or follow up on, particularly all the the other issues and tie-ins and stuff like that. I don't know. So we'll see. Marvel is really digging a hole deep for me. So that's new issue. Amazing Spider-Man came out this week. Now, this is where it should be going, is Renew Your Vows. Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, number 6. I guess it's a regular series. This is a alternate dimension where Spider-Man and Mary Jane both have powers, and they have a daughter who also has powers, and their adventures there. It's written by Jerry Conway, who wrote a bunch of Spider-Man books in the 70s, and is back here writing this series, and Ryan Stegman's the artist. So This one crosses them over with the X-Men. It doesn't take place in regular continuity, so you can play around with a lot of different things and a lot of different characters, and have Wolverine still alive and stuff like that. So it's very worth a look. Speaking of Dan Slott, Silver Surfer number 10. Dan Slott is not notorious, but he's always announced that he's been a huge fan of Doctor Who. He's always wanted to write a Doctor Who type of book, but has never gotten to write it. I guess Titan Comics, which produces the Doctor Who books, they only want British. I don't know the full story behind it. So what Dan Slott did instead was he took over Silver Surfer and turned the Silver Surfer into Doctor Who, gave him a companion in Dawn, and had them have these crazy whacked out adventures, particularly illustrated by Mike Allred. So the reason why books take a little while to get out is because Allred's got a whole bunch of stuff on his plates. And but it's a fun book. As I said, Doctor Who-esque type of adventures with crazy, bizarre characters and Norrin and having his connection with his companion, and it's a big deal. So, yeah. So there we go. Now, this book came out, I guess it was last week, because I have no interest in reading it, and I'm not going to buy it after this issue, but I bought this purely on a, what's the phrase? Investment way. I mean, I know comics aren't really good investments, but thing that happened, particularly with the whole bad stuff with diversity came out of Marvel, we had this situation occur, and they're going to be wiping it out from other printings of it and the trade version of it, so I may as well get it now while I still have the stuff. X-Men Gold number 1. Now, this one came out last week. You probably heard the story. Adrian Seif, who is I suppose, I don't know the full just a story. He put in some racial things in the backgrounds that did not go over well with the editorial team, that they missed on the initial looking through it. But then once people started reading it and started pointing stuff out, it's been a big deal. Adrian Seif has now been released from Marvel, and they're not going to stuff, particularly the big things that I recall. Kitty Pryde is Jewish. She's leading this team. They have her standing by something that said, I think 212 is something also. I don't exactly know what 212 is. And then Colossus's stuff on his shirt is from the Koran, which details that Jewish and Catholics are ruining America, stuff like that. It's a phrase from that. I'm sure there's probably some other stuff in there, but that's all that I found. It's a shame because Adrian Seif's artwork is pretty good, but there's really no place for hatred and this. Mark Guggenheim is writing the series, and Jay Leaston's the inker. So I think Adrian has drawn another issue, so either they're going to have it redrawn or they're just going to print it after they go through with a fine-tooth comb. But I had to buy it mostly for investment purposes because they will not be they'll be erasing all that stuff, the religious stuff and stuff like that. So it'd be good to have on hand. So I know comics aren't a big investment deal, but I figure that would be a good thing to do to get, just to have that issue. So if down the line it is a possible big investment, good investment, I can use it then. Now for independent stuff. Did not even know about this till I stumbled across it by accident almost, but Z Nation number 1 is out. Now, Z Nation is a show that's on Sci-Fi. It's a great zombie show. It's a different take on The Walking Dead. It's more humorous craziness. Craig Engler is one of the writers. He's also one of the writers of the comic with Fred Van Lent, with art by Ed Umena. And this is a prequel to the TV show. So it features characters who have long died or have minor or have big roles in it, but we just see them in a different way right now. So, but it is a prequel to the TV show. It is zombies. It is Craig Engler is the co-writer of it. So, it's his baby. Z Nation is one of his. He wants to be involved with it. So, if you like Z Nation, the TV show, you should probably pick up the Z Nation comic book. Again, Z Nation comic book out this week, written by Craig Engler. So definitely worth to check it out if you're a fan of Craig Engler and his Z Nation. It is a prequel, as I said, so we're good on that. Was going to pick this one up, but I've heard some people say it's pretty good, so I figure why not. Rose #1. Written by Meredith Finch and art by Ig Guara. Again, kind of a fantasy type of story. They all always do pretty good. And so why not check it out, see if it's any good. Female lead on it. Fantasy is always a hugely popular comic. So check that out. All right. Vampirella #2. This is a reboot of Vampirella. It's not your typical Vampirella you're used to seeing. Let's see if we can get a picture of what the typical Vampirella is. Usually the regular Vampirella looks like that with her skimpy outfit. This one is more by Paul Cornell, who, speaking of Doctor Who, was a writer on the Doctor Who show, with art and color by Jimmy Broxton. So we get a new style version of Vampirella, but with a Paul Cornell type of attitude to it. So it's going to be a little bizarre. It's going to be a little bit different. Not exactly what you're looking for. So if you're looking for the skimpy outfitted Vampirella, as it were, in these cosplay things, then you're out of luck. But you might want to check that out as well. You might still be able to find Vampirella #0, #1 as well. American Gods is coming to Starz Network April 30th. American Gods is actually a great novel written by Neil Gaiman. He wrote a follow-up, I forget what it's called, but it's about it's a kind of a sequel to it. But Neil Gaiman has also written this comic, American Gods, for Dark Horse, along with P. Craig Russell, who helped lay it out and wrote the script, and art by Scott Hampton. So at American Gods, and you're interested in and you like the novel, or you're interested in the TV show, you might as well check the comic out as well. It's gorgeous artwork, and Neil Gaiman is involved with it. I'm not exactly sure if this is a new storyline, a new story, or if it is an adaptation of it. I knew they did an adaptation in the first issue, drawn by P. Craig Russell. There is no backup in this one, so but American Gods is worth a look-see. Good artwork, and if you like the novel and are looking forward to the TV show, you might check that out. Once and Future Queen #1 is a new take on the King Arthur mythos, but this time it's a female. It's written by Adam Nave, DJ Kirkbride, art by Nick Brokenshire. It's a 5-issue miniseries, but it's an updated version of King Arthur, with Arthur being a female, and she gathers her round table in dealing with different types of creatures. So definitely worth a look. As I said, this is issue 2, so issue #1 is probably still out there. Oh, and by the way, Keller. Fathom #3 by the new update by Fathom, written by Blake Northcutt, with art by Mark Arena and Mark Roslin doing the inks. It's good girl artwork. Controls water powers. Fathom's been around for a long, long time. Michael Turner was the creator of it. He's passed away by now. But some Fathom in there, especially if you like some good girl artwork, stuff like that. And Blake Northcutt is a pretty good writer, and it's got an interesting storyline going. So I figured I'd keep going with this one. It's nice looking artwork, and Blake's writing it, so that's pretty cool. Planet of the Apes and meets the Green Lanterns, or crossover, whatever. Planet of the Apes, Green Lanterns, number 3. It's number 3 of the 6 issue miniseries, written by Robbie Thompson and Justin Jordan, art by Barnaby Bagenda. It's not quite in, but you get all your favorites. You get the Planet of the Apes monkeys. You get your Green Lanterns involved with it. So what if one of the monkeys got a hold of the Green Lantern rings, and how the Green Lantern Corps would react. There's shots of the red Corps and the yellow Corps as well. So all kinds of stuff. So weird, bizarre crossovers are always fun to look at as well. Finally, for this week, Green Valley. It's a 9-issue miniseries talking about fantasy, sci-fi kind of crossover. Max Landis is writer. Giuseppe Camuncoli is the penciler. Keith Rathburn is inker. So kind of a interesting fantasy slash sci-fi type of mishmash worth a check out. As I said, this is issue 7 of 9, so you might not be able to find some of the other issues, but definitely worth a look for that. All right, on that note, that is the end of the comic haul. Here's my comic haul for this week. As I said, check out your local comic store this weekend. A lot of them are having Easter sales. Get some really good deals. I'll be going to my comic store probably today or tomorrow to get some 50% off of trades and action figures. So can't go wrong with that. Come back here at 9 p.m. tonight for a new episode of Dylan Knows, where I'll be talking a little bit more about other stuff, some comic stuff, and some other pressing current event type of thing. So it should be a lot of fun. It's going to be very blue, very dirty, so it should be a lot of fun. So come check that out. Got nothing else to do on Good Friday. Enjoy the rest of your 3-day weekend if you have a today off. I think a lot of people do, since the highway that runs through our backyard is dead, particularly now from 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, which is usually a lot of time for it was dead. So, and I'm going to get ready to head on down to the Gem Museum and walk around the Baltimore Harbor a little bit, enjoy this beautiful day. It is Good Friday. Have a good Easter if I don't see you. Next week, new comics as usual. And don't miss a brand new episode of Dylan Knows, 9 o'clock tonight. Thanks, and thanks for watching. Bye.